little bit difficult because of how this is going to develop, but... But he's gonna give her something else. Do you have a music player? Oh boy. She wants one, but she can't afford it. She just spent all her allowance on the guitar. Well, I don't know. Would a rudimentary MP3 player really be that much more expensive than a guitar? An acoustic one, that is. Like we kinda got to see. What do we got? What is it? Well, it's the newest model. I don't know, it looks... I guess it looks kind of appropriate for 2007. And the logo makes her remember something else. Well, she should be able to recognize JC Valley as any of the labs that are right here on the other shore of the lake, but Mom was standing in front of it in a room. What's the logo? That's a JC Valley logo. They gave out those music players as a gift. Oh boy. And apparently, yeah, she remembers it. And associates it with Mom. So that can only mean one thing. Not when she was here 13 years ago she saw that logo. And apparently there is one more thing. Do you remember anything when you look at it, oh boy? Well, I remember something, but I have the feeling it's not the same thing you mean. Oh goodness. This is the true another system. And it's totally not the thing that you're supposed to be holding while you play this. And it just turned on when she touched it, so looks like I got more. Oh, here we go, I forgot. The 1 and 2 buttons are actually 1 and 2 in the numbers. I forgot I had set it to that. Why did it respond? Well, you know... Did he build this? That device is called a TAS. Actually, it's the only one. Apparently, he found it among Mom's research materials, so apparently Mom made it. So I guess it has the same excuse as the DAS, where it's encoded to her biometric data. JC Valley was founded by Judd Fitzgerald, who also was the director of MJ Labs, where he and Mom worked. Apparently all the materials were moved here. And that's where he found that. We're sure of what. Sayako created that device. Oh boy. I wonder what it's for. What does it do? I have no idea. Well, it's actually a pretty handy tool, especially compared to the not DS. And she ought to hold on to it. She might be able to remember more about Mom, even though she doesn't recognize it. But apparently she shouldn't show to anyone. And now he wants to see Mom's pendant, which is going to be like a vital part of the plot of this game, even though it was never mentioned before. And he wants to borrow the pendant, so there we go. It is no longer our responsibility, also stomach growling. So yeah, we've been standing here talking the whole time, and now we're having a gay old time laughing. When we didn't even remember that we were missing charcoal for the barbecue. Well, I guess that is appropriate to say that she would probably be faster in getting it than he would. And now we can examine the music player. I have the feeling we might not be able to listen to it just yet, though, because... let's see. Doesn't turn on. Maybe the batteries run out. So let's check it out. Well, it doesn't have one, so... guess Dad couldn't even look into that. But fortunately we did see a single battery over here. Apparently it's also JC Valley produced. So, who knows how much stuff they can produce. Can we combine stuff? Yeah, we can. Let's combine it with the white music player. And take another look at it. No, not this. This. So if I remember right, what the music player actually does is it lets you listen to, to the tracks of the game soundtrack that you've found so far. Well, I remember liking this track, for what that's worth. And this is the one that you hear all the time, because it's the one you hear when you're walking around. God. Also, hey, Darkleaf. Oh man, this sounds like oppressive thinking music. And that's Hipster Man's theme. This is another Code R, which is the sequel to another game called Another Code, which was also called Trace Memory in North America. This game, however, was not released in North America. But anyway, we are going back to the guest house to look for charcoal. Yep. And as you can kind of perceive, this is why you hear the this music all the time, because there's so much walking around. Oh boy. Dog noises. And this time they're not coming from my dog. Well, I can shift my angle without moving my feet, so that's quite an interesting thing to be able to do. So what if we check out the blinds? I guess twist them so that we can see inside. There's a kid and a dog, and the kid has the same pink ribbon teddy bear from the end of the first game. So we kind of have to assume that that's hers. So what's that kid doing with it? Well, we should chase after him, but it's behind the staff-only door. Which is locked, but here we go. Also, let me turn off my fan. Because it's getting kind of muggy in here. Was that the TAS? Why, yes it was. So apparently the TAS reacts to the lock. So what if we combine the two? Well, we get to do a certain input. And as you might guess, this corresponds to buttons on the Wii remote. And sometimes we have to twist it as well, which can get annoying with the non-intuitive twisting of the emulator with the keyboard, but let's see. A, B, up on the D-pad, I guess, 1 and plus. And by doing that, we release the lock. Hello. It's unlocked, so can we go through the door now, please? There we go. So the thing about the TAS is that it can unlock pretty much all of those electronic locks, which is why it's quite a good thing to get around with. So let's look around the storeroom. Canned asparagus, plastic plates, which apparently have not moved since they're dusty. More Oni's chips, which are referred to as crisps regardless because European English. 2 blue cooler boxes, dirty white appliance. Looks like it might be some kind of burner, but I don't know. 2 lanterns with numbers on them. A folding chair, looks kind of small. Sleeping bags, which looked like punching bags when they're rolled up. Spades, that's also how you know it's European. They call them spades instead of shovels. Metal trays and grills, and they also spell grill with an E at the end. Toolbox, large cardboard box. Mineral water, quick snack vegetables. Guess we're not gonna open the freezer door though. And what else do we got? A plastic bottle lying on the floor. An overturned cardboard box with beef jerky packets inside. Cardboard box and a note above it. Don't forget to check the list when you... That's not what that says. It says, don't forget to check the list when you take out goods from the warehouse. That's what that says. Why are you lying to me, game? Is this also... No, okay. It's too blurred to read. No, it isn't. It says, souvenirs, item color size, t-shirt, white free size 3, black free size, open close parenthesis. That's weird. Or 0. I don't know, it looks like a open close parenthesis. Also, that doesn't say kerosene and charcoal, that says cap L3M2. I don't know why they bothered to change the graphics if they didn't even match, but... Well, what else do we got? Boxes, bread, flour... Impossible to tell what's in them. Black plastic containers. And what about these boxes over here? Pile of cardboard boxes. Nondescript, I suppose. And then there's white cardboard. Well, if we look over here, we see the doors open. This is how he gets in and out, I guess. And there's also footprints of the kid on the dog, so let's take a picture of that. Just to be cautious. I think that pretty much covers all the angles. So let's go out and see the beetle on the tree, which doesn't move when the background moves, and we hear the dog. And by following along the only trail, we come to a fence with a hole in it. Seems kind of dangerous though, can't you get like hurt with those bits, those pointed bits of fence, the metal mesh. The dog and the kid went through the gap in the fence, and apparently she's going to try to as well, but the dog doesn't want to let her, and that gives the kid a chance to get away. Maybe it's because of the beef jerky on the ground. That's what the dog wants. So let's see if we can solve this puzzle. There you go. What do we push the thing forward? Can't remember how to do that. Oops. Let's do this. Hang on. Because apparently just moving it around doesn't do anything. Oh, I see. No, we don't. We don't actually give it to the dog. We move it to the other hole, so that the dog clears the way through this hole. Is that really gonna hold him for long though? There's a bunch more of that stuff on the ground by the other hole, but I guess it doesn't matter now because here comes this guy. Moving the dog to get through the fence. Apparently in the amount of time it took this guy to come over here, the dog left. How do you get into the storeroom? Well, the door was unlocked. The noise from the storeroom, well, that is true. That is actually what happened. Stuff low the floor, the back door was open, but he doesn't really want to believe her immediately. How could she be eating food from the stores if she's only just arrived? Well, I guess he hasn't seen the kid. Well, okay, let's do it. Let's show the pictures that we took, or the picture that we took. Got footprints on the floor by the back door of the storeroom. Apparently he's not convinced though. We don't really have any more proof, I don't think. I don't think if it is possible for you to get any more than that, but I don't think it really affects anything, whether you have that or not, but I guess we're gonna find some proof. Somehow. Overturned cardboard box. We already looked at all this stuff though. Guess we're not opening the fridge again, even though that's where the kid and the dog were looking. Was there anything left behind in all these places? Is there anything else that wasn't there when we were last here? I don't know. Well, the footprints are here again, but this time new ones have been made. They're too big to be that kids. Maybe they're Tommy's. Which ones are ours? Are those mine? Cool. We've littered the crime scene with our footprints. That's the best. What about this? Plastic bottle on the floor. Oh yeah, I guess we couldn't actually examine this closely before, so I guess we could bring that up. Oh, we need to show proof. Well, not so far, but guess we take a picture of it. Or we pick it up. Oh, we just check it again. Alright. Small handprint on the bottle. I guess that's too small to be either of ours. So there you go. She was telling the truth the whole time. How did the kid get into the storeroom? It is a mystery. The back door is supposed to be locked. The card lock. Yeah, we just come here for charcoal. I guess we can get that sorted out now. And here we go. There's the charcoal, seems like... Well, I guess you wouldn't need that much for a fire, moderate sized. Try not to die of boredom, well. Well, at least that was... this particular situation was resolved without too much trouble. Need to check because... need to figure out the integrity of the shack, I suppose. Or need to ensure. There were suspicious people around, messing around in the woods in the middle of the night who might have started the fire. Well... apparently he liked the villa that got burned down. Old, but a nice atmosphere about it. And apparently he's got a picture of it. If I had to guess, this is going to trigger yet another memory. A red roof, yep, here we go. Seen it before. The villa where the fire was, almost there. And yeah, the game is sure to let us know that when she does that, she really does blank out. And pretty much ignore everything around her. So you know, that's a nice state to live in. Well, as far as spooks, Dee's not around anymore because, depending on how you play the first game, there's either... he's either back at the island or he's moved on. But that's not to say this game is entirely spook-free. The details of that are kind of complicated, though. So, we got the charcoal, and I don't believe there's anything else we need to do before we head back, so let's go. Oh boy. But apparently, oh boy. I see that mysterious dark-suited man in the background, or foreground. Dad got an urgent call, I need to get back to the lab right away, of course. Can't actually spend time with Dad. Gina said she'd come to keep us company. Don't show the dash or the test to anyone. Well, alright. I wonder if that guy heard what we said. Here we go again, indeed. So I guess we just chill at the campsite until someone comes. Wonder what kind of person Gina is. Thought we'd get to sit down and talk with Dad. Well, I guess not anymore. Isn't that the story of everyone's life? Ah, here we go. I guess we'll get into the other chapter here because we get another recap quiz. He left home a year ago to work at JC Valley. He got invited and he sent a dash. It was a new model, I guess. He sent it because I guess it's again for memory enhancement. Someone stole her bag. Because Dad didn't show up, but near the campsite gate, I guess we met Dan. Didn't meet either of the other two, so. Dan the forest ranger, who we told about her bag. Keep an eye out for it. Went to get some charcoal, and we heard a strange noise, and we saw a boy with a teddy bear stealing food. Need to assemble the fragments of memory that keep appearing. So yeah, we need to figure out which of these pictures Mom is in. When Dad gave us a music player, she was in front of the JC Valley logo. Why did she come here 13 years ago without telling Dad? Well, all of these questions will be only vaguely answered. This is really the sort of, much like the first game, it's not really a sort of game where you can tell exactly what's happened, even if you've just finished playing it, but let's just ignore those late game saves I have and save in the first slot. Because it is the end of the first of 8 chapters, so you know. Well, let's see if we can. I doubt we'll get another one done, but let's get a little bit into it at least. Dad had to go back at the lab, and now we're waiting for the person he sent to replace him in this barbecue. I wonder who Matthew is. Oh boy. We got a mysterious stranger coming to meet us, it seems. Who actually does look like Riku from Kingdom Hearts. Vaguely. Apparently Gina's not coming, it's this guy instead. Gina said that Dr. Robbins asked her to keep her company, but she she also had some urgent work. Oh boy. Doesn't know exactly what it was though. Do I really seem so bad? Well, I guess not. Isn't having a barbecue with someone you just met kind of strange? Well... But even with something as unplanned as this, two strangers can talk and share their views on life. Yep, that's my icebreaker too. Just lying. Just kidding, I have no icebreaker. Just lying, I guess. You could say that about a lot of things. Apparently this is Ryan Gray. He's a scientist like that. And apparently his face also makes her remember something. Apparently that was him in that other memory in front of Mom. Doesn't seem like he's that old though. Where have I met you before? Well... Oh, there she goes, blacking out again. And whenever there's someone around, they will comment on that. Have we met before? Well, I don't know. Apparently not that he recalls. It's not uncommon to meet someone and think that you've seen them somewhere before. But apparently she recognizes him from memory. Maybe we met 13 years ago. She's 16, so she would have been 3. Well, I think she would have been less than 3. Since Mom got killed on her 3rd birthday, but... There is a theory regarding myelination in the human hippocampus, stating that this particular development is a slow process. The hippocampus is not fully formed until the age of 3 or 4 years old. If we consider the concept of implicit memory, where emotions, memory of basic tasks of facial recognition developed before the age of 3, it is not an impossibility for you to retain memories from 13 years ago. However, the majority of test subjects cannot recall episodes or events from their own childhood, which would imply that explicit memory has not developed by that stage. Maybe. There's no such thing as a scientific law to prove that, though. What are you telling me? Your recognition of my face may be due to ambiguous, unreliable memories. I guess that's the gist of it. I suddenly started remembering Mom. Do you think that coming here may be a trigger that made you remember your mother? Well, she does seem like the kind of girl who would claim to be triggered at this age, but... Did you come here today by your own free will? Well, not exactly, I guess. God called her here. Dad knew that she'd been here with Mom 13 years ago, so she was trying to get her to remember. When I came here and saw everything, I suddenly started remembering. Yeah, we've seen that. If you ask me whether I'm completely sure that our full memories are true, I can't honestly say. We call sudden memories like that flashbacks. It usually happens when you have a traumatic experience or mental scarring. I thought that was called PTSD, or there was another older word for it. I forget what it was. Shell shock. But I guess it wouldn't really apply in this case. And the night of my 3rd birthday, my mom died. Well, she was killed 13 years ago. She would have PTSD about that, I guess. She was killed at the young age of 28. Yep, apparently he also knows Mom. Her death was a great loss for the entire scientific community, especially those focused on memory research. And now I have a chance to meet her daughter. Yeah, this seems perfectly trustworthy. Someone here at Lake Juliet knows about Mom. I wonder what this means for us. Well, let's go and build a raft, I mean, start a barbecue. If you could light it up, you know, if you could go and collect 5 coconuts and 6 pieces of charcoal, that'd be great. So where is the charcoal anyway? Looks like it's not over there. Well, there's his briefcase. Did we leave stuff inside? Well, I guess we're gonna need the matches. And the lantern. I guess we're not gonna be using that though. Do we have the charcoal in our inventory? Yes, we do. Alright. So I guess we're gonna mix that stuff in with the grill. That's plenty of charcoal. There we go. And gonna light the barbecue. Can we just do that with matches? Just like that. Oh boy, for a little mini interaction scene. I don't know, do we just apply this? Not really sure what we're doing here. I don't think we can... It looks like the match is already lit, but... Doesn't seem like any part of this has a reaction to it. Hang on a minute. Do I have any notes for this? No, I don't. Well... Hang on. Let me try wiggling this around a little more, but if not, then I do have reference. Yeah, it could be that there's not enough kindling in there, but... Oh, never mind. It happened. But I would imagine that if that was the case and you couldn't actually do anything yet, then she would actually say something, but the fire's still pretty weak. How do I make it burn better? Well, you could repeat that thing you just did with more combustible stuff like cardboard, I guess. Seems like a good idea. Oh, we fan it, I guess. Hang on. No, not like that. Like this. I guess that would work. And again, this is coming from someone who has precisely 0 camping experience ever, so... Do you remember burning stuff that I didn't want my parents to see? Like school memos sometimes, back when I lived in my old apartment though, so... So I do remember that some stuff can be harder to keep in flames than others. Apparently they're making, I want to say brochettes, because I'm pretty sure that's their actual name, but bruschettas. Or are there? Hang on a minute. Pretty sure most people would call these kebabs, but in Spanish they're called brochetas, so... Skewers, I guess that's a general term for it, skewers. Apparently it's good. And I'm forced to assume that they're sitting like opposites in relation to each other, but this is kind of an awkward angle to show that in. Your hair is a different color, but your dark eyes almost look exactly like hers. Well, yeah, her fucking Sayako had black hair, but Ashley has white albino as hair for some unknown reason. Apparently, though, he says that she was the exact type of person that he is. Seems like an odd thing to say, but let's talk about her after we're eaten. Bon appetit. And then the Kevin MacLeod LA Beast music starts up. Wonder if there was any ghost peppers or crystal Pepsi at this barbecue. Maybe Cool Pop tastes like crystal Pepsi. Well, I guess there was some kind of pepper. I kind of eat them now, but when I was little I cannot stand them at all. Well, that's the case with a lot of vegetables I find, at least for me. The best way to overcome hatred of a food is by forceful and careful cooking. I still can't stand tomatoes though, because at least raw tomatoes, because they're just stupidly bitter. Thought all scientists were like that. Ryan's so open and talkative, I guess not all scientists are the same. Yep, he sure seems trustworthy, doesn't he? Even though he has, like, no emotion. You wanted to ask about Sayako? Yeah, I guess we did. Well, they were gonna barbecue together, but apparently he got called back to the lab. Researching another there? Were they researching it? I thought, can you research something that you're inventing? Because I don't know if you can call that the same thing. There are people at JC Valley who know about another. Well, if there's such a thing as memory-focused research, which I guess would be like a subset of psychology, I would imagine that they would know about something as specific as that. Mom was someone you'd never forget. He remembers her very well. Sayako was the first scientist he ever met. What kind of a person was she? She was a truly incredible scientist. Well, no one has anything but praise for her, based on everything we ever hear about her in these games. You know, I don't think this is Japan, because like, part of the script is that Ashley's supposed to be half white, half Japanese, and her mom was Japanese, but this doesn't actually take place in Japan. And most of these people are supposed to be white, I think. What do you mean when she said she's the same kind of person as you? Someone who's followed the path of research all their life. Someone who was born to be a scientist. His parents were both scientists. He started researching at university when he was 10 years old. Yeah, sure, I can believe that. Maybe he belongs in the Big Bang Theory. He didn't start proper research until he was her age, and then got screwed to work for JC Valley. Well, maybe, like, this is all you did all your life and were never allowed to do anything else, but it sounds like a kind of a crappy life to lead. Heard that Sayako began at 18. Well, you know, I guess professionally, that's not so outlandish. Aren't you at that age where you begin to plan your future? What do you want to be? Oh boy. Well, we can say we don't know, or that we want to be a musician, so... well, might as well shoehorn that into this. One day I want to write my own songs. Well, it doesn't seem like that would be that difficult to do if you're really into it. I'm sure everyone dreams of becoming a musician when they're a certain age, although it is rather unlikely to become reality once fit. That's a very nice thing to say. I think I understand how you feel about the future just from that conversation, yeah. On the surface you may look a lot like Sayako, but on the inside you're just like Dr. Robbins, so that... Oh boy. Exactly like him. I think she takes issue with that. What's he like? What does he mean? A very hard worker. May I ask you something? What would that be? Do you often go camping with Dr. Robbins? Nope, this was pretty much the first time. And she thinks it was an excuse to get her here. He hasn't been home for 6 months. So he needed to come up with an excuse to meet in a mostly amiable environment, I guess. I can respect that. I suck at talking to people too, and getting them to be in the mood I want. But he could have had a bit more tact even so. Everything's short notice. Her bag was stolen. I've never had my bag stolen before. I have. I lost like my bag and one of my coats. That was a really fucking crappy day because I didn't even want to go to the place where it was stolen. And even though I'd lost like not quite negligible amount of money, it wasn't too much, but it wasn't little either. What really ticked me off is that bag was pretty handy, and that inside of it was a Stephen King novel, which I was about 1/4 done with, so that went out the window. But I guess he doesn't really... She's not gonna dwell on that too much, but she's gonna bring up the pendant, which has some form of liquid in it. Oh yeah, she doesn't actually have it right now. Apparently though, Ryan's interested in that. And by that, being a hard worker. He means the kind of scientist who works extremely diligently at his job. Because the miner doesn't give up until he has the answers. Well, I guess he does kind of give off that vibe. So he's the exact opposite of Sayako and himself how. He doesn't just come up with everything instantly. That seems like a kind of elitist thing to say, but alright. He's been giving that off. Oh boy, here comes this person again. Elizabeth. Also, the novel that was stolen was Cell. Which, based on what I've heard of it since, it's not really a great way to start off with Stephen King, but we'll have a few more Stephen King things now, but I have yet to actually sit down and read any of them. Elizabeth lost something, yeah, we've gathered that. The thing we got for JC Valley's anniversary thing or whatever. So the music player. And she wants him to help find it. But he doesn't want to because he can't leave until Dr. Robbins comes back. Oh boy. Because he wants to keep Ashley company. Oh boy. Yep, just go ahead and say this in front of her. Well, we could just do the obvious thing and talk to them, but if we take a look at the character grid, you can see that it's expanded quite a bit. We got Mystery Man in the cap. We got Elizabeth, we got Tommy, we got Dog, which we don't know what its name is yet. We also got the Mystery Kid. And for some reason we got Sayaka's killer, whose face and name is never revealed, even though we already know who it was Bill. And also Gina, researcher who was Richard's assistant, but even though we know she's a woman, we don't know what she looks like. Well, apparently she's looking for a music player, and she wants not Riku here to ditch the barbecue and help her look for it. And she's acting kind of snobby right now. She doesn't really care, oh boy. And she has a great attitude. She's Elizabeth Alfred. Yeah, she pretty much is Pacifica, or any other bitchy female character girl who warms up in the end. Spoiler alert. It means that your father works for mine. Just thought you should know that. That's a great attitude to take as well. How old are you? We could lie about our age, but I guess we're not going to. Could say that we're older than her. Same age as me, no way. So what? I thought you were like 14. Well, I guess that would be a plausible mistake to make. There's no way you're the same age as me. So this is the constant warfare that's going on between girls, I guess. It's what pop culture has led me to believe, but having never been a girl, I cannot confirm it. Where do you lose your music player? Well, apparently she doesn't want her help. Well, apparently Ryan will go with her. She's going to ditch this after all. Because he thinks that this is the best option. Why don't you take a walk in the meantime? Well, I guess that would be a good idea. And she disappeared. And so did he, but his shadow remains. I guess it's a sign that Riku will eventually give in to the darkness, but... Oh boy, Dad is messaging us again. I'm really sorry, but I won't have time to go to the campsite now. Oh boy. And he's asking her to bring the backpack to the cottage. That's another great way to get her to warm up to you, but... Oh, hey, he left his briefcase. What should we do? Maybe he's still around. I guess we'll pick it up to give it to him again. And take the backpack to take to Dad. And the hat. I still don't think that's a cowboy hat. It's more like a sun hat, straw hat. It doesn't really look like a Stetson. Or a 10-gallon one. Well, we do have a new destination now. Let's go take a look. Let's see if... oh boy. If the ranger won't chastise us now for trying to go that way. But he was worried about your bag too. Sure you're worried about getting it back for trying to enjoy the camping trip. Oh boy. So it hasn't been found yet. I don't know if it would be that easy to find in an out-of-the-way place like this, but I guess it's less likely to be lost than if there was a lot of people around. nobody there at the moment. Yeah, he does work for JC Valley. He's Dr. Robert. What, you didn't know? But I guess he did know now. Knew he had a little girl, but I didn't think it would be you. Well, must have been 2 months ago when we helped him put the bait on his fishing line at the lake. Apparently he's not good at it though. There's not many people have caught stuff in the lake recently, and there's a reason for that, but... as soon as he runs into something he's not familiar with, it's like looking at a little kid. Well... it's not entirely different from her, so... there's a few cottages around, but here's just the first one on the left. Alright. What else do we got? We haven't seen this boy. Well, in fact we have. We saw that kid stealing food from the back room. He's been reported as a missing person. So this is gonna get interesting. Why was he reported missing? He ran away from home, so you got a runaway kid with a dog stealing food. He's been gone for 3 days, and this isn't the first time he's run away. Pulled the same trick last August, but he was eventually found. His name is Matthew Crusoe. Oh, there you go. Apparently that's the Matthew from the chapter title. So now we know that that kid will actually have a larger role than would appear at first. There's an old boathouse on the way to the cottage, which is closed right now. I guess we're not to go into it, because those troublesome types hang around there. There was a man in sunglasses who might even be in cahoots with them. Oh boy. So the boathouse is some kind of wilderness camp gangster hangout. Or so I'm forced to believe by that statement. It's Ryan and Elizabeth. Well, let's go talk to them. To what could possibly go wrong? After that previous conversation we had. What is it? Dr. Robin's return? Well, no he didn't, but he said he won't be back, so we're going to bring him his stuff. This trip might be ending prematurely, oh boy. And we brought his briefcase. Was it that filthy before? Oh boy. This briefcase gets dirty very easily. Well, I guess it would be if it were plastic coated. Well, depends, I mean. There's like some kinds of plastic briefcase handles with kind of a rough surface that makes it a bit easier to leave marks on it like that, but I guess that's not the case here. Did we find the music player? I guess they haven't. Well, we can stay here for... oh no, he's gonna stay here and let her search, help her search. Please wait your turn. Oh boy. Doesn't remember anything else, and I don't think she will, just standing here. Who's this Sayako person? Do you really need to know? You wouldn't know her. I think he's supposed to be like younger than 30 though. Because apparently he was already working here when he... or 13 years before this takes place, but... according to him, he started doing university research when he was 10. Hang on. Pretty sure you can check in the character profiles. How old is he? 34. Oh, never mind, he doesn't look 34, but I guess he is. I failed to remember that. But now that that scene is over, I guess we can move on. Here we go. And we made it to the shore of the lake. And I guess seeing that does make us remember something. What would that be? Shows her with Mom looking out over the lake. It's like a rush of 1,000 emotions, but she feels a bit happier. There's so much more. Apparently she remembers all of these places when she came here with Mom, but she still doesn't know what that was about. Who hates that kid? I'm guessing he would recognize her, but I guess that's not gonna stop him from talking to her. No, I guess he didn't at first. But now that he has, he's gonna run away. Well, I guess the dog's on his side. And he's off again. So we're getting... I guess we're getting sidetracked. We're supposed to go to the cottage, which would be... not this way, but we're gonna follow them. But there's somebody else here. Could he be the man with the sunglasses? Oh boy, I guess so. And he's off to vanish in the distance. Can't examine that. Oh boy. But I guess we're not gonna actually be able to proceed further because here comes Dan again to piss on our parade. Yeah, the cottage isn't that way. Have you ever heard of exploring? The one in the sunglasses, you want that way. Apparently that's the way to the old mines, so... much like in the first game, there just so happened to be some old mines around. And if I recall, the end game also takes place in a cave, so there's that. Or near a cave. Well, you passed through a cave at some point, I do remember that. During the end game, but... I guess he's going to investigate, but he doesn't want us to go that way. Is he actually going to be able to stop us if we... Yeah, I guess he's not actually going that way. There's a path off to the left. What if we try to ignore everything he says. He's gonna take issue with that. But I guess he won't mind if we explore this other path here. And we can have to go this way since this is where the kid and the dog went, this direction. There's a stream flowing past, so clear you can go to the bottom. Actually, this stream is kind of important if I recall, because for plot purposes we're gonna have to identify a water source that is separate from the lake later. And I'm pretty sure that that's the one. Apparently at the end of this trail there's a barn with a closed off entrance. Is it really a dead end though? The door's just leaning on the building. Yeah, the door doesn't look like it's attached to anything, so we can make this expression of strain while we try to pull it out the way. Very, very slowly. Very, very slowly. Hello. So how big does the space need to be for us to pass through anyway? Looks like she's pretty skinny. And she said that she could pass through the hole in the fence, so there we go. Guess this is the shack. Looks pretty run down. And she heard something, but before we try to figure out what that was, let's examine everything as we are wont to do. Rusted wheelbarrow, metal drum with cobwebs. Pretty sure we're supposed to see what's on these boxes on the side here, but I guess he doesn't want to right now. A helmet with a lamp, which doesn't work, so a miner's helmet. The mystery appliance. I still see that it's some kind of fire thing. Large batteries which have leaked so they can't be used. Protective gloves. I don't think they would like break or anything. Generally gloves are pretty sturdy, especially if there's like leather on them. Leather, but oil cans with mud. Empty bottles. I'm pretty sure those are wine bottles based on the labels, but I guess she doesn't want to say anything. Large metal containers. A sign that says keep out. Cannot be pulled out, but I don't know why you would want to do that. Broken glass. Well, an iron bar on the floor. And small sign. This is what it says. Oh, how it actually matches for once. Parking lot construction. March 25, April 2. So I guess we're too late to watch the construction in action. Crates seem to be empty. Well, what about the other room? The south side of it. Oh boy. There's that noise again. We got mattresses covered in a rough layer of dust. Also a crisp packet. A crisp packet of chips. An aluminium. Is that correct? Is that spelled correctly? Aluminium. Yes, it is. I don't know why people say aluminum. I guess that's a lazy way of saying it. Beef jerky packet. And plastic bottles. Mineral water. I guess it's not just clear water. Yeah, I know it's a legitimate way of spelling it, but it sounds really weird to me because in Spanish it's aluminio, and like you will never find anyone saying alumino. It just sounds really weird, so just the way I'm used to hearing it. Dumped tires and apparently cartwheels, wooden wheel. Kind of makes you wonder how long that's been here. Dark timber and pale timber. Equal opportunity timber. Cans covered in mud, wooden desk. What else? I guess that's it. Only thing left to do is get out. And try to figure out what the source of the sound is. The quality of this well's spring water is the same as that of the source of Lake Juliet. The well is covered when not in use to avoid contamination. Well, here's another fence with a hole in it. Maybe it's the same one, I don't know. I thought that the other one had another hole up here though. And can't really see it from here. And can't really get closer on this view either, so... There's an old well, and well, the teddy bear is right here, so... Sure, well, I guess it's the same reason that... Like, if you write a word in Japanese, for instance, you can extend the pronunciation of the vowel to emphasize it. I guess to kind of express what I mean is why you say Shiningu Wisado instead of Shiningu Wisato. But, you know, English is, like I said, the flimsiest fucking language in terms of pronunciation versus spelling, so... Well, someone's inside here, it seems. Hey, I'm gonna let you out. No, not really. I'm gonna let you out. No, not really. Okay, for real though. How do we... There's not a lot of room to move. Oh, who is it? Well, you know, if you... There we go. If you have the upper body strength to keep that thing lifted up for more than 2 seconds. Like, I have no upper body strength, and even I could do that, I'm pretty sure. It's the only hiding place he could get to. Yeah, why was he hiding? I guess he's scared, but... What is she really gonna do to you? Hadn't eaten since yesterday. Well, I am getting pretty hungry right now. I mean, haven't eaten since like 5 hours ago or something. How do you know I ran away? Well, the ranger, but I guess we're not gonna mention that. Matthew Crusoe. Suppose I might as well tell you. First, you gotta answer a few questions. Okay, well, I guess we're getting along for once. Where did you get that teddy bear? Found it. That's very helpful. Over where that place got burned down, so the villa. How'd you get into the guest house storage room? Just used my ID card to get in. Well, apparently you would need a special ID card to get in through there, though. And that dog, is it his? No, apparently it just follows him around. That stray just seems to like him, so apparently it's a stray of the lake area. Well, let's get the details. Let's see, the place that burned down, also hello Lambda. Near the campsite gate. Well, at least we remember where that is. Yeah, that is her teddy bear, we're forced to assume because it looks exactly like the one that was in the lab at the end of the first game, so... This doesn't look like Fallout 4, well, you know... You did remember that gameplay bit I showed where she's going around with a shotgun and shooting mutants in the face, right? You just gotta wait for it. First though, we need to figure out what this runaway kid is doing out here in the middle of the wasteland. How did he get the ID card? Just lying there with a music player, oh boy. Actually, I kind of missed that. Where did he get it? Found it? Oh, found it. It doesn't actually say where, but I'm pretty sure I do know where. Batteries were dead, so there was another music player, but he just left it there, I guess. The dog's astray. I wonder if it's like the dog that you can use to beat the first boss of Shin Megami Tensei. You want to ask me something? First, what's your name? Oh yeah, Ashley. How do you know I ran away? The ranger told me, yeah. Oh goodness, the jig is up. How could you have ever found out my evil master plan? Where I secretly want people to become more cultured. Also, yeah, we heard that this kid's a runaway. Well, sure, I'm grabbing one of my mustache hairs as like kind of twisting it between the front half of my thumb and index finger. It's only like 2 hairs though, so it's not much in effect, but... Apparently this kid's doesn't live with his dad, but with his uncle. Well, there's a whole story behind that, but... Well, I guess we are gonna start hearing it now. Mom got sick and died, and Dad disappeared. Oh boy. It seems like a great projection. And there's something he has to do here that's related to that. He's looking for clues to help track down his dad. Oh boy. Can we keep a secret? We immediately agree. He's looking for Dad because he was kidnapped. Oh boy. Dad is really rich, rolling in cash. Oh boy. But he was kidnapped here 5 years ago by kidnappers. Really bad people. He said a huge ransom, but his uncle wouldn't pay it, so Dad never came back. But so he was classed as missing. Well, you would think that more would be done if that actually happened. Than the uncle just ignoring it, but yeah, wasn't he rich? Dad is, but uncle isn't. Well, couldn't, oh, I was gonna say, well, still, even if only Dad has the key to the safe, then couldn't Dad pay back the uncle after the devil? I don't know. It's not like they ever actually elaborate. Yeah, Yeah, apparently he does love to mention that. Do we believe him? Not a word. Well, let's say yes. Let's try getting on his good side. Because he's apparently got that magical ID card to steal the food from the storeroom. Rich Kidnap Dad sounds like a TV show, so it's kind of hard to believe. Especially if apparently no one's doing anything about it, and it's not like a high-profile thing, but... Jess is 16, we don't know how old he is though, I don't think. As soon as I open my mouth, you instantly decide I'm lying. Well, it's kind of funny because this is pretty much what Dee said at the start of the first game when he met Ashley, that he could only be seen by people who were trusting. Which is why apparently nobody else could see him, but it's actually kind of apropos. Because, spoiler alert, that kid is going to be the D of this game. But, well, I guess we did get something out of that, and that was finding out where the bag was. So I guess we're going to go look into that now. And possibly run into something on the way. No, the kid's not dead, but he's gonna be pretty much playing the same role. Well, the dog is here. As being the passive sidekick who's also trying to figure something out. Well, what do we got? Well, now we can look at the boxes. And there's something lying between them. It's a pink music player. So I guess this is pretty much where the music player that Elizabeth lost was. Well, we can lift this box, but apparently it's too heavy, we can't hold it anymore. And even though we can lift it slightly, we never think of moving it off to the side and, you know, throwing it off. And then sliding the other ones apart from each other so that you could reach, but I guess our deductive process only goes so far. We're not Sherlock Holmes. So where are we going? Oh yeah, well, we could go to that campsite, but we also want to investigate the villa. Because apparently that's where Matthew found the teddy bear. And we were carrying around a teddy bear in our bag, so if the stolen bag is probably anywhere, presumably that's there. So now she should be willing to ignore the keep out sign and stop being a stick in the mud. We have to go. Who needs rules anyway? Who needs safety regulations? Well, here's the gate. Apparently the gate is intact. And since it's all brick and metal, I guess it makes sense. The gate's locked, but there's also one of those sensor locks in there. And predictably enough, the task is responding again, so it's kind of obvious what we're meant to do here. Let's open up the bag and use this to thwart the lock. So what do we got this time? Oh yeah, it does go in interesting directions with some of these. These are some of the simpler ones by far, but press 1 and 2 at the same time, A and B at the same time, and plus and minus at the same time, and there we go. And the gate unlocks. Well, we're not looking at the lock anymore. Yeah, it really doesn't look like there could have been anything in here, but... Well, we can look at the giant wreck before noticing the obvious thing on the ground, which presumably is the music sheets. The band score that she brought with her. And there's something under it. Well, later, Sarah. A door knocker. With 2 lion's heads on it, which triggers another memory. I guess that's a door knocker that was on the door before it burned down. And apparently Mom came here as well. And somebody else is here apparently. To snap us out of it. Oh, it's him. Came to find the bag. But he thinks that she only came here to see if he was telling lies. Well, apparently the bag's not here anymore, or we would have seen it. The gate was locked, but he climbed over the railings. That seems like it could have been kind of risky, or just difficult, though. I mean, they make those railings pointed for a reason. Came to see Dad. Someone grabbed the bag and ran off with it, as we've told several people. And the teddy bear came from the bag. Staring into space like that. Guess she still hasn't realized it. "13 years ago, he was only being born then, so I guess he's 13. Yes, she's not here anymore, because she's dead. How'd she die? Oh boy, that's a great thing to ask. Well, let's... I guess you couldn't really figure that, so let's take it in stride. Yep, Mom was murdered. I guess that he understands. And if we play the first game, we already know all this, but she was killed because frickin' Bill wanted to steal her memory research. And now he's the one who's doubting her. And being a baby, she doesn't really remember her. Or an infant at any rate. So let's... Can you see where this is going yet? We're 2 people, a boy and a girl, with a slight age difference, who are in this bizarre remote location that's somehow linked to the past, to a mystery that we're both trying to solve, each for our own reasons. seems awkwardly or oddly familiar, doesn't it? Dad wasn't kidnapped, not really. Oh boy. Dad did disappear 5 years ago, but he wasn't kidnapped. He came to Lake Juliet for work and he never came back. Said he'd go cycling with him. Oh boy. Dad promises. He was teaching him how to ride a bike. Pictured here, Dad. The trick to it, well, there's not really a trick to it beyond just keep your balance and, you know, relate that to the impulse you have. It kinda looks like he has black hair in these images. Pretty sure the hair he actually has is lighter than that, but apparently Mom was in serious denial about Dad coming back, and then she died. Isn't that great? So I guess they both have dead moms and estranged dads. What better common ground is there to have? Oh boy. What do we got? These footprints are huge. Apparently, they completely ignored those before. They definitely belong to that guy. The man in sunglasses. Oh boy. Yeah, we've been seeing a little bit more. Or a little bit of him as well, but tall and dressed in a suit. Really suspicious looking. But I guess we're going to have to save this conversation for now, because Dad's calling us again. Waiting for us at the cottage. And apparently Matt disappeared when we were looking at that. So I guess that's pretty much it. There is to see at this place. And all that is left now is to go find Dad. So hang on a minute, because I think I'm gonna go ahead and leave it off here for now, but I do want to check. Does this thing say how old Matt is? Yeah, 13 by this point. I guess he mentioned it. That was their way of introducing that. But I'm going to go ahead and, yeah, save, and since I've already been going for a while, I guess 3 hours, I guess each chapter is about 2 hours, so this is gonna take a little bit more than usual, I suppose, but hey, I've got nothing if not time, so I will go ahead and leave that off there for now, which is quite opportune since as I mentioned, I'm getting quite hungry, haven't eaten in a while. And I'm gonna go and look into solving that. And when I return from that, as usual, we're gonna be going to live stream, and I will be continuing the Fledermausman exploits there. I think this particular time I'm gonna have to show 5 episodes at once, because the last one is the first part of a 2-parter, so. But hey, like I said, I've got nothing if not time, so I'll be back for that. And until then, until a few minutes from now, that is.